Okay. What is today? I don't even know. Okay, I gotta tell you, I have zero desire to be here this morning. Sometimes you wake up and sometimes you're like, nope, not doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it even a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. Nothing in my body tells me that this morning I want to get up and exercise. But I didn't work out yesterday. And I felt this yesterday, but I didn't feel it nearly as bad yesterday as I do today. And I'm telling my body, I don't care. Here's why. Because later on today, I guarantee you, I will be at work, or I'll be driving around, or I'll have come home from work, or I'll be having lunch with my wife. Somewhere along the way, I'm going to go, ugh, I don't like how I feel today. And you want to know why I feel that way? It's because I didn't get up and exercise. So we're doing it. It's leg day. I hate leg day. We're doing it. Ready? We're going to start with just some good old-fashioned back squats. We got 8 rounds, 8 sets each. Because I took my time getting ready this morning, there's no way I'm going to get through this entire workout, all 8 rounds. So we'll start with 6 or 7 rounds of each, and as I get closer to the end, if I've got time, then I'll extend that out and do the 8 rounds towards the end. Let's do it. We've got some music. Today we're listening to late 90s grunge, and we're starting with The Offspring. Oh, what's the name of this song? Oh, Get a Job. No, no, why don't you get a job? One bad thing about these bone conducting things is that it just doesn't sound that great. You don't get the bass on the... Anyway, should we do it? I'm just procrastinating now. I do need to turn it up. I can't hardly hear it at all. Where's my volume on this guy? Okay. Stinking do it. This camera? No. This camera? Yes. That's what we're doing right there. Barbell back squat. We're about 10 pounds short of what I actually want to do, but I'm also warming up a little bit here with this. I find myself slowly getting to my bottom. All right. Only giving ourselves 45 seconds in between, and my timer's not up, so I gotta give myself a second here. No way. Nah, nah, why don't you get a job? Ain't doing nothing at all. Oh yeah. Hey, there's my 5-pounder. I'm a little saucy this morning. I had a kind of a bad day yesterday. Some things going on in our world upset me a little bit. I won't pay, no way. Nah, why don't you get a job? Sail away, nah, no way. Nah, why don't you get a job? I'm a little frustrated with how we as a society, especially Americans, I haven't heard this song in forever. Is this the President of the United States? She's lump. Wow. It's been a while. One second. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to, let's see, is my camera working over here? Nope. Let's try that again. There we go. I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to stir the pot too much. I'll explain in a second. For the most part, I say live and let live. Let people believe what they want. Let people think what they want. Let people do what they want. Even if I don't agree with it, even if I go, you know what, that's not best for you or the people around you, I'm like, it's none of my business. Do what you're going to do. Think what you want to think. I love our Constitution, United States, because it affords us all to have whatever beliefs we want to have. And my job, don't hit the microphone, is to support those who think differently than me so that I can think the way that I want to think. Freedom of speech, right? That is sometimes misunderstood by people, that freedom of speech means freedom of consequences. Just because we believe in having free speech doesn't mean that we can say whatever we want without repercussions. Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the band we're listening to, no doubt. Hold on, I gotta pay attention. I gotta see what we're doing after this. After this is gonna be a barbell Romanian deadlift. We just finished round 4, moving into round 5 of typically 8, but I'm probably gonna do 7 today. Heart rate, that's the purpose of this workout, is not strength training. We're using traditional strength training, resistance training, in order to get our heart rate up. Ooh, it's good, 144. I want my heart rate to be right about 150, maybe a little bit less, not really a whole lot over, but I want to maintain that through the whole workout. Let's turn off. And that's why my rests in between are short. And my weight is light-ish. There we go. Anyway, there's this prevailing idea that at least I think is among us as a society right now, that says, number one, you can't tell me what to say. The Constitution, I have freedom of speech. Well, that amendment, First Amendment to the Constitution, only bars the government from suppressing your speech, saying government shall not. Hold on, go over here. That does not mean that private business can't prohibit speech within the realm of what they have control over, right? It's the reason why traditionally schools universities. They, again, traditionally, they often get governmental help, and so they have to live within certain rules and regulations that the government also has to follow. So typically, universities can't prohibit speech either. But your place of business, if it's not publicly owned and traded, if it's a private business, oh no, I dropped. 1 second. Ugh. So that's the first things people say. No, you can't tell me what I can or can't say. Well, the government can't, but in a lot of situations, certain entities can, if you're within their, influence or within, governed by them. I'm having a hard time articulating what I'm trying to say. This next one is our last for this round. So let's go ahead and write down what we're going to do next time. You got to raise the weight. If we did not fail, if we did not struggle, you got to raise the weight for next time. So the other side of a misunderstanding about the First Amendment is there's this idea that, no, I have freedom of speech, which means I can say what I want without consequence. And that just isn't true. You can say whatever you want. But if what you say, let me finish this and then I'll keep talking. All right, now I've got to get this bar over my head. Here we go. To bring it down for RDLs. Again, this idea that, no, I'm protected. I can say what I want. You can. You are protected in that the government can't stop you from saying what you want. But if what you say has a damaging effect on an individual, on an entity, on a group of people, you can be sued for libel or slander, depending on if you wrote it down or if you spoke it out loud. You are held accountable for damages, or can be at least. Freedom of speech does not protect you from the consequences of saying something that is damaging to somebody else. Or that could be incite violence. If what you say is going to imminently incite violence, then the government can come in. And that's a really, really difficult area, right? It's hard for... Stop this, grab some gloves. It's hard to determine at what point in time does speech, written or spoken, cross that line to imminently incite violence. How do you judge that? Well, that's why we have a judicial system, right? To be able to look at past incidences and compare them and say, here's how the rule of law has been applied before. That is called a Romanian deadlift. If you notice, my knees don't bend very much. They bend enough so that I'm not just keeping them stiff straight, but the movement's actually happening at my waist, right? Without curving my back, keeping the back straight. What that does is that engages the glutes, hamstrings, really, really well, right? As opposed to a traditional deadlift, which would go down into a more of a squatting position and really engage those quads. Anyway, back to talk about the First Amendment. So it's the reason why people get so upset about things like the January 6th event that some would call a protest, others would call an insurrection. I'm not going to say one way or the other. But here's a situation in which you go, okay, did violence occur? And depending on which version of the events you've witnessed, you would say, yes, violence did occur, or no, it didn't. Or the violence was a reaction of protection, or it was instigated, or it was patriotism, or whatever. But if you watch all of the footage of everything that happened, I don't think that you can say violence didn't happen. I think you would be ignoring what the definition of violence is. So the question is, if the violence was illegal, would it have happened had certain leaders that were in attendance or nearby or talking elsewhere, would it have happened or not happened had they not spoken or said something else? Did their words, what do I do with my gloves? Oh, they're way up here. I'm coming. Would their words, unspoken, have stopped the violence from happening? Again, if the violence was illegal. Or if they had said something else, would, hey, there's Bowser Big Bean Burrito, and he's going, and he's got a prayer thing. Hey, Bowser Big Burrito, it's good to see you again. Okay, so here we go. So that's why there's so much. Oh, 1 second, let me finish this. So again, the burden of proof for something like that's very difficult. And your own opinion about how you feel about the situation will bias you one way or the other. I sure feel like that was the 4th round. Did I forget to write it down? You know what? Forget it, we're going to call it the 4th round. I don't remember. It feels like it was the 4th round. Okay. Whoops. Did I, yeah. So, 1 second. My point in all of this conversation is to discuss something that really started to bother me yesterday. And that is how we as a society react to certain events as they unfold and what we are susceptible to following those events, depending on what our natural bias is. Here we go. Like I said at the beginning of this thing, I am prone to, I gotta turn this down. I am prone to let people think and believe what they want to without judgment and care, do what you're going to do. But I'm starting to struggle with people like me not saying anything because we just don't want to rock the boat. I was a news reporter. I was a news anchor. My degree is in broadcast journalism. I went to school to learn how to collect information and try to do so in the most unbiased way possible. Believe it or not, when you go to broadcast journalism school, at least the one that I went to, they pound it into your head the importance, the absolute necessity of telling all sides of a story, and to watch for your own bias, to recognize it, and to not let it affect you, and to not let your own bias affect the way that you interview somebody, the way that you collect the information. It's very, very difficult. And so I spent, when I was a news reporter and a news anchor, because I spent a few years doing that, at smaller stations, I got to pay attention. I'm talking too much. I got to think about what my workout is. Hold on. Where are we at? We're at 7, so this will be our last one. Let's do this here. I've got to get weights set up for walking lunges. And I certainly will not be able to talk during walking lunges. That'll be an impossibility. Anyway, spending a few years, 4 or 5, in the, let's see, do we want this one? Yeah, this one. This will be the last one of these, and then we go on to walking lunges. Out in the world, gathering stories every day, putting those stories together, broadcasting those stories. It was, I left the news business because it got a little tiresome to me. Quite honestly, the difficulty of it. Also, quite honestly, the lack of how much you get paid to be a journalist. I don't mean the talking heads you see on CNBC or CNN or Fox. Those guys get paid plenty well. I mean the regular on-the-ground journalists get paid very little, comparatively, right? Oh, be safe. Thanks, Bowser Big Bean Burrito. Fake news. Oh, shoot. I think I'm supposed to be doing walking lunges right now. Hold on. I gotta come over here. Here, just a second. I'm a little behind. Let's see. We're doing 8 each side. 8 each side. Okay. So, I ended up leaving the news business, and I miss it a little bit. I miss the, I gained a lot of knowledge. You meet lots and lots of people. You learn a decent amount about a lot of things that you never would learn otherwise. How government works, different agencies, both private and public. Okay, what are we doing? Walking lunges. Here we go. the thing that drives me crazy is after I got out of the news business, I stopped consuming the news as much as I had. Started ignoring it a little bit. Still watch headlines and things like that, but the older that I get and the more distanced I've become from being a journalist, the more disappointed I have become in what the news media is willing to do. Especially news media that is, for the longest time, it was the big three, ABC, NBC, CBS, for years and years and years. That's the only channels that had news until the advent of cable and otherwise. And now there's a gajillion channels. And most of the programming, did I not hit that button? Wondering why this was giving me all the time in the world. Okay, continuing on, next round of this. Next time I'll make sure I hit the button for my timer. So much of news media these days that is cable or internet based isn't actually news. It's what's called a news magazine. In fact, many of these entities are registered with the FCC as entertainment, not as actual news, so to speak, so that the FCC controls public bandwidth of signal for the purpose of lots of different things. But when it comes to the dissemination of information, they give out licenses, but those licenses can be revoked if you use them for not what they were intended for, right? So the FCC watches really closely those groups. Did I put my next one on here? Yes, I did. Watches really closely those groups in which are supposed to be broadcasting certain kind of information that's supposed to be unbiased and factual. But they don't do that as much, or even at all, to those that are considered entertainment. So I, as an ex-journalist, am appalled when I watch what is supposed to be news and is so blatantly not. When what I watch is so blatantly biased. When the things they use, the words they use, are 100% meant to elicit an emotional response from people. Most often fear or disgust or whatever. When I watch a so-called journalist use words like the horrific actions, the unbelievable result, the incomprehensible, when they use words that are triggering words that tell you this is how you're supposed to feel about something. When they say, here's this event, and this is how you should feel. News, real news, doesn't do that. Real news doesn't tell you how to feel. Real news simply tells you, dang it, I keep putting these down places I'm not used to. There we go. Real news simply tells you the information, and it tells you the information from multiple sides in order to say, look, we are nothing more than the witness of what's going on, and we're here to give you this, to let you disseminate it and make decisions for yourself about how you feel about it. That does not exist in cable news. And in some, not only is it, in some entities and some channels, where am I at? Is that 6? It's more than just, hey, here's a situation and how you should feel about it. It goes further than that. Oh, I didn't start my timer. Some news agencies will bold-faced lie straight up purposefully and are willing to, because often all they have to face is a lawsuit that they have insurance for, that costs a lot less than the grundles of money that they're making by targeting an audience that goes, yeah, I agree with that. News is not meant to tell you, yeah, I agree with that. If you listen to something on the news and you go, oh yeah, I agree with that, you are not listening to news. You're listening to propaganda. And it's starting to drive me a little crazy. Because it divides us. If you're not willing to listen, you're not willing to listen to the other side. There was an experiment we did in one of my ethics classes as a journalist, where we watched a story and an argument between two individuals, courtroom based, right? One second. So we're watching this argument. We don't realize it because it's so very well produced that we're only listening to one side of the argument. This guy and this girl are talking about, I don't even remember what the argument was. This was a long time ago. But it was, you're watching from the girl's point of view, and it's, hey, this guy did me wrong, and here's everything that happened, and you're watching the story, and you're going, oh man, this guy did her wrong. That guy should go to jail. Look what he did. And it seems clear as day. This guy had done something seriously bad. This girl deserved recompense. This guy should go to jail. And we stopped and we talked about it. How would we cover that kind of story? What would we say? What information would we put in? What would we want to make sure that we kept private in order to protect individuals whose privacy needs to be protected? Oh shoot, what's next? Leg extensions. Oh, I gotta get that set up. We're on round 6. Then we go back and we keep watching. And it's the exact same story. Oh, this isn't the one I want. I want this one. That one. It's the exact same story, but it's completely from the guy's point of view. And suddenly here's this information that you didn't have before about what led up to the situation, about what he was doing to protect, about all of these different things that you're like, oh my gosh, this girl was lying. She was totally lying. It's not his fault, it's her fault. And your opinion of the situation suddenly completely changes with new information. You're like, holy cow. We come back and we talk about it. Okay, now what do you think? Well, we were wrong. It's this girl, she's manipulative. She's doing all these things. Look, it's obvious. Okay, how would you report that? How would you cover that? What would you put in? What would you leave out? How would you be sure that you were fair and unbiased and let the audience decide? And we discussed this, that, and otherwise. And then we watched one more segment, which then was it was an unbiased version of the thing as a reporter had put together, trying to tell both sides as much as possible. And suddenly it was very hard to tell who was at fault. suddenly we're like, shoot, this could go either way. It could be his fault. It could be her fault. It really depends. I think I need more information. I need to ask more questions. But either way, suddenly I've got this greater appreciation. Hold on. Suddenly I got this greater appreciation for the difficulty and nuance of telling a story. Let's see, let's do that next time. And then when we're done here, so we're moving on. We've got one more round of this. Or was that the last round? No, we got one more round of this. And then we're moving on to leg extensions. Oh, 1 second. Okay, back over to here. Anyway, my point is, nowadays in news media, as I witness it, as I perceive it, having this background of journalism in my life, news media is picking one side or the other, and they're only telling that side. You're not getting to see the other information. You're not getting to see everything. You're only getting to see the one side. And so it's very easy, especially if what you're listening to complies or confirms whatever bias you have politically, emotionally. It's easy to go, oh, wow, look what's happening in the world. Look at this. Look how bad those people over there are. And trust me, both sides do it. It's not just the right media. It's not just the left media. Both sides do this. I watch a lot of news. I can't help myself. They only show one side of it. And they fake the ability of showing the other side by bringing in an expert from the other side. The left says, we're going to bring in so-and-so from the Republican Party and get their take on it. And then they just burn this person to the ground. And on the right, they just say, we're going to bring in this Democrat expert. And that person comes in and tries to say their side, and they burn him down. They go, yeah, see, look how dumb that person looks. Guess what? Those people are hired. They are paid to be there. I don't care who they are. And so because of that, now we're in the situation where if we are unwilling to listen to the other side, to go out and find it ourselves, to go, you know what? Okay, I heard that and I believe it, what I was told, but I kind of want to know what the other side says and do so in an unbiased way. If we don't do that, then we are slowly dividing ourselves into groups and allowing what we partake of to do that to us. And it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because I'm so upset at the people who call themselves journalists who sit there and they know better. Oh my gosh. If they don't know better, then they weren't taught at the right school, or they refused to listen in the first place. They have joined a side. They have said, yep, I'm going to participate in whatever group this is because they're going to pay me well and because I'm going to gain a modicum of fame because I'm going to be a reporter. And they are willing to throw away ethics, integrity, and truth, ultimately for a paycheck. I watch them, and I've seen specific journalists. I won't say because my point here is not to throw anybody or any side under the bus. I'm here to throw everybody under the bus. I've seen specific journalists that, as they started their career, understood bias and did everything that they could, at least according to, let's see, how about there? Let's do that one. We're doing leg extensions. I'm coming over here. We're going to turn this in just a hair. You could see them telling stories in a way that they really were trying to get information out. And then over time, you can watch them change. You can watch them stop being journalists and start being propagandists. Some people who I would consider my heroes are certainly not any longer because they have sold out. And that does nobody any good. And like I said, it upsets me because we as a people are pretty dumb. We're pretty weak-minded. We believe what's given to us. We don't have the time or the energy to question. And they prey on that. And they go, great. Because ultimately, almost all news media now, their sole purpose, I mean, I went to school talking about the sole purpose of media was really to be the voice of reason, of unbiased information gathering and handing, because people just can't go ask all those questions. And it has turned into ultimately what it has to, when the only way that you survive as a media entity is by making money. They're not government subsidized unless you're PBS. They're all private companies. Well, what is the purpose of a private company? There's only one purpose of a private company. It's to make money. That's it. So you almost can't blame them for doing what they do, because by finding specific audiences and targeting them and finding a niche that's different than your competitors, you draw bigger numbers. In news media, bigger numbers equate to bigger ratings, and bigger ratings equate to more advertising, and that's how you make your money. Oh, Semi-Charmed Life, what a great song. Do, 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 as I talk about these things. Do, do, do. Yeah, semi-charmed kind of life, baby. So, on a quarterly basis, there are ratings. They're called, what do we call them? Shoot. I've got music in my ears, and so I can't think of the words. There's a period of time in which ratings are gathered for all broadcasts, TV, cable, whatever it was. It's the Nielsen ratings. And during that period of time, they're watching and they're watching how many people are watching, what the demographics of those people are, how often that they, at the beginning of a program, the end of the program, they stay through to the next program, that kind of stuff, right? Come back over here. And, sweeps. It's called sweeps. And during sweeps in the news business, you save your juiciest stuff for sweeps, right? Because you know that week is when they're going to be checking all the ratings. So for local news, which is what I did, in the weeks leading up to sweeps is when all of the stations are teasing their upcoming stories. Next week, watch as we uncover the most amazing thing, right? And you're like, ooh, well, I want to see that next week. I'll have to tune in. But all the stations are doing it next week. And so all of the juiciest stories they're going to bring in, even at a news station in which I thought we were as unbiased as we could be, yet we're human and we're biased, we did that. We would save stories and go, okay, this is going to be a sweep story, because we know it's going to draw people to watch it because it has some element of, That kind of pisses me off now that we did that. That we didn't just go, no. Our job is not to try to draw people in. Our job is to, oh shoot, I keep forgetting every time I come over here whether or not I put the next one. Yeah, sure, what the heck. So, with that, so my point in all that is to say, media, almost all media, is a business, and they're trying to make money, and they found a way to do it. I'm just sad that we as a people haven't recognized what they're doing and called them out on it and say, no. It used to be that the station with the highest ratings was the one that people trusted the most, the one that said, yes, this station is the one that gives me the information in the most unbiased, clear, concise, detailed way that I can make decisions. And I trust Walter Cronkite because He tells it to me straight. He doesn't, beat around the bush. Trusted man, right? That kind of thing. That's not the case anymore. Now it's all about those other guys are fake news, and this is the real news. Those other guys are telling you a lie, and my guys are telling the truth. Guess what? They're all lying. None of them are telling you all the truth. And the fact that you listen and you go, hold on, sorry, I'm getting a little heated now. I say you, I mean we. This isn't the right camera. I think I want this one. Yeah. The fact that we all listen and go, yeah, that's right, those other guys are the liars. Like I said, the moment that you watch something and you go, yeah, you are consuming propaganda. You are not consuming news. You are part of the problem. Because the only way that the stations, what is that, 6? I think. The only way the stations continue to do what they're doing is by watching those ratings. And as their ratings go up based off of the content and the manner in which the content they deliver, then they keep doing it. We consume, we join a group, we are contributing to saying, yeah, that's what I want to see. Because that's all they're doing anymore. News isn't trying to give you the right information or give you unbiased information. They're trying to give you the information you want. The one that makes you go, yeah. That's why the ratings balloon. Any station that goes on and goes, our ratings are so much better than theirs. Look at that. We're better because our ratings are more than theirs. Again, what the crap does that even mean? It means you've tricked more people. Congratulations. If you're watching something going, yeah, that's right, we're better than them. You're not watching news. You've joined a cult. Congratulations. All of this has stemmed, again, I try to keep my mouth shut. I try to let people do what they want, but all this has stemmed from countless incidences that have occurred and the resulting information that comes out about those incidences. I think that's 4. 8. How many more of these do I have? I gotta stop the music. I can't think anymore with this music going. So 2 days ago, oh, we're on our last one. This will be our last one. So let's raise the weight for next time. 2 days ago, Francis Scott Key Bridge, Baltimore, Maryland, collapsed after a container ship lost power, tried to regain that power, ultimately ran into one of the pylons of the bridge. If you haven't seen it, then you don't watch news because that's the top story of everything. Information that came out about it, clear as day, pretty standard stuff. If I was covering that story, we would have heard about it on police scanners. We actually probably would have heard the Mayday that was called out before it ever happened and immediately gone that way and gone, ooh, there's a ship, container ship in the bay calling a Mayday. Who knows what's going to happen? Dang it, I forgot to hit the timer. Here. This is the last one of these. Award-winning news. Insider. Thanks, Big Bean. What is it again? It's Big Bowser Big Bean Burrito. Bowser Big Bean Burrito. Bowser Big Bean Burrito. 4B. I'm going to start calling you 4B instead. Or maybe B4. But then people wouldn't know if I was talking about before or you. Here we go. Oh! Okay, that's it for that. We're going to move over to leg curls. So we're going to just make a few adjustments here really quick. Oh, I got to start my timer too. Got to start the timer too. And then I'll get back to my rant. Because I got more to say. Those plates. I need, how much do I need for that? Oh my gosh, I need glasses. Okay, let's go back over here. I gotta take some weights off. I can do a lot more in the leg extension side than I can on the leg curl side. Let's go here and here. There, and just a little bit more. And then I've got to change the placement of the microphone. I've got to change the placement of this microphone here. Hold on. Let me mute it so you don't hear the. All right, how about that? I forgot I hadn't put on my headband. All right, we're moving on to leg curls, and then we'll talk some more. Leg curls, leg curls, leg curls. That's good, that's good, that's good. All right, come back over here. So, if I were a reporter covering that, we would have gone out. We would have seen what was happening, would have shot a bunch of footage, asked a bunch of questions, looked for security, camera footage, found out from authorities what had happened, and that all would have happened just like really quick, right? In the first hour after the incident. And you'd immediately get back to the station, start pumping out and going, look, here's what's happened. You'd have somebody live on the scene going, here's what's going on right now. See what's behind us. And you saw all that happen. The funny thing is, clear footage of how it happened, clear information from police officials who didn't know about this until it occurred as well. And it's a pretty cut and dry story. Now, it's engaging because the entire friggin' bridge just fell to the sea, and we just don't see things like that happen very often. But ultimately, the story, it's not a super deep story, at least to start with. It's just like a car accident, right? The accident occurred. How did it occur? Is anybody injured? Are you guys doing search and rescue operations? That kind of thing. Well, that very morning, remember this happened at 1:30 in the morning. That very morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, there is already videos out showing a bridge with an explosion and a collapse and cars going off of it, claiming to be the bridge in question. And headlines on that or comments that say things like, was this a terrorist attack? And that video and subsequent pictures and other videos that had nothing to do with the actual incident start circulating around and getting passed by people saying, oh, was this a terrorist attack? Was this a terrorist attack? Now, there was a time in which that never would have happened, because anybody with a sense of discernment, anybody with a sense of, hey, let me question things, would have immediately looked at the real video, which happened at 1:30 in the morning, seen what happened, looked at the other video, and gone, oh, these aren't the same thing. They didn't even happen at the same time of day. But the information spreads like wildfire because it comes accompanied with a question. A question that says, oh, is there something more here? Is there something we're not seeing? And then I have people at my place of employment who go, Dave, man, I saw the video and it was like an explosion. Man, something happened. I'm like, no. If you Google that video, you will find out very quickly that it's not the same thing. It's nowhere even close. Now, again, no big deal. Let people think what they want. But when it's those kinds of people that are suddenly in our government, and now you have government officials going, was this a terrorist attack? Holy crap. It's fear-inducing and mongering and plays into an agenda. And I just can't take it anymore. I can't take people creating division for the purpose of creating division, for the purpose of confirming bias. You watch, anytime that there's a major event, you will find immediate disinformation. And there's a reason for it. That immediate disinformation is meant to divide, it's meant to polarize, and it's meant to confirm a bias of some group. To say, hey, keep your eyes open. Here's what's really happening. You guys don't know. Oh my gosh. So, that's my rant for today. That's what's keeping me up at night, is the ridiculousness of the so-called news in our world. What time is it? Oh man. I've got to do one more of these, then I've got to jump over to cabs because I'm running out of time here. I'm going to turn my music back on. I think what I might do is I might start looking at our daily headlines and just finding the real information and finding the misinformation that came out immediately following. Just so we can talk about it. Just so we can go, hey, look at this. Isn't this interesting? Okay, we're moving on to calf raises that I forgot to set up. And this will be our last exercise for the day because I got to go in and help get kids ready for school. Let's set this up. I don't remember how much weight I'm supposed to have back over here, though. And the smashing pumpkins in my ears isn't helping me to remember. Put this up here. You guys probably can't even see me. I'm back on the backside. I'll change cameras here in just a second. Let me find out what my weight is supposed to be. I know it's supposed to be at least 90 plus what the machine is, which is another like 95, at least for this particular exercise. So go ahead and put 90 on to start. Come over here and take a look-see. I was very close. 95. Let me copy this. Come back over. Yeah, we're gonna come over here this time. Big Reno says, tax money has fallen into the sea. Our tax money has fallen into the sea. Yeah, it is. It's true. Our tax money just took a big dip, didn't it? How do I say, 95? Come over here. Our tax money went for a swim. Could you imagine? Now, good or bad, I mean, it's a devastating situation all around. Mostly for those poor people that went into the drink and they never found. But I will say, I do give thanks for one thing, which is because the ship called out a mayday as soon as they had problems, and they knew which direction they were going. Police were able to get on scene and clear the bridge. Not clear the bridge. They were able to stop people from driving on the bridge. According to one report, let's go back over here. According to one report, police, so the reason why people went into the drink is because, if you hadn't heard, there was a construction crew working on the bridge at the time. Devastating, right? Where the heck is my timer? Oh, there it is. A construction crew was working on the bridge, hence the reason why people went in the drink, and that's who they were searching for. Come here, come here. Oh, man. But again, I say blessing, because if they hadn't called out the Mayday as soon as they had issues, if they had just been like, oh, let's fix it, we can get it up and running again, police wouldn't have come to make sure nobody got on that bridge. And that was a major, major thoroughfare. What is it, 6? There would have been a lot of casualties. There would have been a lot of vehicles that had gone into the river or the bay or whatever that body of water is. In fact, like I was saying, according to one report, one officer was quoted as saying that they had seen the boat coming, and then they had left the construction workers alone because they were just stopping traffic from crossing. They weren't actually going onto the bridge to get people off of it. But when they saw the boat heading that direction, and that it was getting closer and closer to that pylon, they were like, oh shoot. And the officer starts taking off when it hits, boom, and never made it onto the bridge. But that they had attempted, well, at least they had wanted to attempt. And I hope that's the case. I hope there wasn't some other way they could have gotten a hold of those construction workers with like a mega horn or something, a bullhorn. It reminds me a little bit of a earthquake of 1986 when I was a kid in California. Had an earthquake that caused the collapse of a double-decker freeway. What was it called? Was it the Embarcadero? No, that's San Francisco. It was, I remember, double-decker freeway there in the Bay Area. And the Oakland Bay Bridge, a big piece of it on the top layer. Oakland Bay Bridge was a 2-level, traffic going one direction on top, traffic going the other direction on the bottom. And right in the middle, one of the main huge pieces of concrete that hold the thing all together. Whoop, went like that. And a car, whoo, right down it. I remember as a kid watching it on the news and just being, kids in Kansas were afraid of tornadoes. I was afraid of earthquakes because we felt it. When the earthquake happened, man, it feels like the ground just turns into jello. It's the strangest feeling to have solid earth beneath you feel like it has become a semi-liquid. Shoot. Was that 7 or 8? I don't know, we'll do one more. That's what that reminded me of. It's just like all my childhood fears of earthquakes and buildings and freeways collapsing, watching that bridge go. Man. So I told my kids before I found out about the fact that they had stopped the highway, I was like, I couldn't imagine being on that bridge. And it fell so fast. Being in a car and going, holy crap, straight down. Yeah. Now, luckily that wasn't the case, but unluckily there were people that were construction workers that were just standing there working, and to have that fall out from underneath them, oh man. Just feel for them and their families. Did I mark that one? Yes, I did. This is round 5. I'm just a girl. In case you're wondering what I'm listening to, no doubt, Just a Girl. What a great song. What a great band, man. Gwen Stefani in her prime was so awesome. This thing's in my face. I don't like it. Go over there. Next up, round 6. I'm just a girl. That's all I. Okay. We just got a couple left and then we're done for the workout. Just need to check something really quick. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just a girl. I forgot to put this away. Enough ranting for one day, I think. I think I've had my fair share of complaining about the world. Maybe I'll talk about my next pet peeve, my next 2 pet peeves. The first of which is how the 2-party system is destroying our country. If, in fact, you are a member of the United States, as I am, that's the country I'm speaking of. And my other pet peeve, which is laying in bed with a sheet that's tucked in too tight at your feet, so if there's pressure as you're laying there on your back and your feet are up, the sheet, like too much pressure on your toes. Oh, I hate that. You go to a hotel and they're super tight, and you're like, I push with my leg as hard as I can against the sheet, but they're tucked in so tight, it doesn't do anything. I got to get out of bed and I got to fully untuck it. I can't have too much pressure on my toes. I don't know why. That and the 2-party system. I don't know this song. It's definitely 90s grunge. I'm not familiar with the band. I have to go look it up. All right, how many more of these we got? Maybe one? Maybe one? Yeah, one more. And we're done. I'm going to raise the weight on that for next time for sure. What is today? What is it? Oh, I didn't start my timer. That's all right. I'm going to guess. I'm going to be done with the timer. I'm going to put it away. Oh, that's right. I was going to look at what band this was. Hold on. Okay. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Oh, I told you I was going to find out what song this was. This is Calypso, Spiderbait. Spiderbait? Calypso? Have you ever heard of that band? A band called Calypso? A song called... Or maybe the song is Calypso and the band is Spiderbait. I bet that's what it is. Wait, what did I say before? I don't remember. Last round. All right. That's it. That's it for today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our weights away because you always want to keep a clean gym. Put our weights away. And we'll go wake the children up. Get them ready for school. Oh, you know what? I meant to tell you about an event that happened last night that was so incredible, at least to me. It was so amazing. Okay, I'm going to have to say that for tomorrow. Let's turn off the music here. That's now Republic ready to go. Do I have anything else over here? Nope. Let's come back over here. I had the most amazing thing happen last night. And it wasn't even to me. It's one of my kids. And I'm so excited to share it. Nobody out there is going to care. But it was so amazing to me. Bowser Big Bean Burrito, thanks for hanging out. It was a hoot to see somebody I was interacting with
Appreciate it. It gave me motivation. Workout went quick today because I was complaining about stuff. So tomorrow, I'll tell you about what happened last night tomorrow's workout. Until then, I hope you all have a great day. Watch for the influence of media giving you propaganda. Call it out. The moment you go, oh, yeah, I agree with that, go, hold on, I shouldn't be agreeing with anything. They should just be giving me information, and I should be making some decisions and thinking about it. When they say something, I go, yeah, that's right. That guy is a prick. Yeah, that's right. That incident was wicked. Whatever. Know that you're being given propaganda.